Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrence Garden Farm. This is our October garden here in southeast Wisconsin. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Casey Lawrence and I'm the gardener of this garden, and behind the camera is my husband Jason, who helps me with all these amazing projects. So today I'm just going to go ahead and share with you what our gardens look like, because they are absolutely awesome this year, and I can't wait to share what this garden turned out to look like at the end of this season. This area over here is near our chicken coop, and it got a little crazy with our popcorn plant right here. This is the largest it has ever gotten. And over here we have our bubble gum container. It is absolutely gorgeous still, and it has some of the blue scaevolas in here. And then I also just added in some little fall flair because we're switching the seasons, but with all of this color, I don't want to pull or dump anything. I just want to allow it to go through its own season, and that's truly what the season is about. It's not necessarily changing everything. It's just allowing everything to flow into that next season and enjoy it as it is. So this over here is the chicken coop space, and a lot of these containers my youngest daughter Selah actually designed, and she did an amazing job. As you can see, this is one of the containers here. These cannas over here, I did leave the dead blossoms throughout the season. I do keep them trimmed up so that way it promotes new blossoms to keep growing. But this is the time of year where I start doing some seed saving. So you'll notice a lot more dead brown blossoms left in the garden. I mean, not as many as there would normally be. Our weather has been beautiful, but right now is my time to focus on how we're going to be saving seeds and what we're saving, and that's why you'll start seeing some more dead flowers left on the plants. Also in here we have, we've got a lot of roosters, that's for sure, but we have this gorgeous lantana. This is the beautiful ageratum. This is tall blue planet. This is one that we actually seed started on our own in the greenhouse, and you'll see these throughout our garden, and I love using them in containers. And then here we also have the kufia. This is another one that I am seed saving. Along with the ageratum, you do want to seed save. I find that the seeds are actually a little bit more expensive, but it is totally worth it, because once you do buy them, you won't have to continue to repurchase them every single year if you're saving seeds. Also a little bit of verbena. We've got some of the begonias here, and then just my little touch of fall flair because, you know, I mean, we're in fall now, so you got to add a little touch. This is Selah's window box over here. She created this one as well. Now this is the pink kufia. I love this just as much as I love the purple, but maybe just a little bit more, just because it is a little bit brighter, and I do find that the hummingbirds absolutely love kufia. So that's amazing. And then this over here is just a seed geranium in the color violet. So verbena, you know, all of our great colorful trailing plants in front there. And over here we've got a colocasia. Look how gorgeous this is. Heart of the jungle. And this one took a little while to get going this year, this container overall. And I do believe that this container took longer because I think it had some thrips, which is a type of a bad bug that is really hard to tackle, especially when you're doing more organic gardening. And because we switched over to organic gardening a few years ago, I'm going to try to make this part quick because this could be a really long part. So when you first start organic gardening, you're going to feel like you can't get ahead of anything. And there will be a couple years where it feels really unbalanced. But over the time, I felt like by our third year of organic gardening, so many beneficial bugs and good bugs came into the garden, and then there started becoming a really good balance where we don't need to do this spraying of the garden. It's really like spot treating with organic types of things that we create or that we buy. So over here, once again, you can tell that Selah really loved the ageratums and she loved the lantana. They're really fun, and that's really Selah's personality. Also have some snaps in the back too. This color I believe was flamingo. We do seed 90 to 95% of our entire garden that you see here. And things that we can't seed, we save. So like the Heart of the Jungle, Colocasia here, this is a Proven Winners variety. We just save it every year, and then we can just keep multiplying to have into our containers every year, so we're not having to purchase constantly. Like I said, this area got a little crazy this year. This should really be up more so you can walk through easily, but you know, it's been kind of fun. So let's go back here a little bit. So this back garden is an area that almost feels like a total secret over here because nobody knows that there's 4 more large raised beds back here. But these host a lot of our healing herbs. It hosts a lot of beautiful flowers. So a lot of things that attract beneficials. They attract the hummingbirds, the hummingbird moths, all those fun insects and birds that you love to see. It really attracts them in here really nicely. And so we're just gonna kind of come over here behind our lemongrass. So this area back here is a little wild, but a little wild can be a good thing. And sometimes I just let it go. So this area I have trimmed back and I've cut and cleaned throughout the whole season. But I mean, it's just on its own at this point. It's doing what it wants to do. It's unmanageable. So I'm just gonna let it go and let it do its thing like it's doing right now. And we got at least a little room to get up the stairs here. So I just a lot of times let things go. So I'm gonna come over here really quick because I really want to talk about this salvia here. This is actually one of my absolute favorites. It's called Black and Blue Salvia. As you can see, it's one of the truest blue salvias that you can get. Like over here, we have the Blue Victoria salvia. And even though it looks really blue, compared to this one, it doesn't even compare. There's that little tint of purple on the Blue Victoria, whereas over here on the Black and Blue salvia, it is just like the truest blue. And here are our little patches of millet. We got one on this side and one on this side. And these are specifically for our little birdie friends, the little finches. They love to come over here, land on them, eat all the seed it produces. These I've already gone ahead and I've saved the seed from the millet. Millet seed can usually be a little bit more expensive. This is the Purple Majesty. And I tend to save more seed than I need because when I do seed it, I seed it with multiple seeds in one. I don't just seed it with just one seed per plug. I do like, you know, usually like 4 to 5 seeds per plug. Even the statice is so pretty. I do every color you can of statice. I love it. I will be cutting some of this just, you know, to have some beautiful dried flowers. What I love about statice as a dry flower is that it holds its truest color like forever. Like you never have to worry about the color fading when you cut and dry it. And I've got my cute little buffalo check plaid, orange and white for fall time. It's starting to really feel like fall, and I love accenting a lot of orange because orange is super warm. Like it just has like that cozy feel. And you know, I'm clashing a little bit with it today, but that's okay. But look how pretty that is. I just love it. In the summer, we do a lot of light in here, but I really like the warmth. I think next year I'm gonna kind of switch it up with some of the colors in here because this really draws in my eye and it makes me want to really sit here and read a book or have some tea. It's that time of year and it just gives you all the feels. There's little Luna on her way up to the little pony deck. Hey Luna! Luna comes up here whenever we're hanging out in the garden room. And this view here is one of my absolute favorites. That's why I love sitting in that couch with the buffalo check because I get to look out here into this beautiful garden. Look at how gorgeous these dahlias are, and all of the coleus are still doing amazing. Some of my trailing petunias kind of pittered out a little bit during the season when we had like a ton of rain at once, but that was more like the other supertunias. But the giant pink supertunia, that was the champion this year, as you can see, and it's large pink blossoms. And then we've even got Gumfrina throughout here. These are all self-seeded varieties, like the Gumfrina, not the large pink. That's Proven Winner. But then you've got the Blue Victoria over here, and then you've got the Heliochrysum over here, which maybe you know better as straw flowers. Those also hold their color. Amazing for dry flowers. And there's just so many beautiful things. This is our volunteer every year, this big hunky thing. I mean, it drops like thousands of seeds. And then over here we've got our Love Lies Bleeding Amaranthus. And this, I love this time of year because in fall, it gives the appearance of a spooky, I don't know, like a spooky plant. And as you can see right over here, look how gorgeous. So this one over here is standing because the morning glory is acting like a rope and trellis to hold it up there. So that looks amazing. Plus, if you can get that shot up there, Jason, we have a really tall sunflower that the morning glories took over, and they're holding it up super high, and it's just amazing, along with these huge dahlias. And then we've got all these gorgeous gold and orange marigolds that are really putting on a show right now that really accentuate that fall like season. You know, it's really coming into its own. And right here, those dead sunflowers, this every single day, the blue jays are jumping on here and they're feeding on them. So anytime you can add a sunflower into your garden and it dies, just leave it. These are going to be the most amazing bird feeders. Grow extra sunflowers so that way you can attach more to them when they're all finished and place them wherever you want to see the birds. So we can see it from inside of the garden room, we can see it inside of our house, and even when we're just sitting out in the little fire pit area over here. It's just gorgeous, and I love it. And you can see my crazy weird posts over here with the morning glories just a little bit closer. It's just a different view than what you saw over there. But like the way that they come in, it's just got that fall spookiness to it, and it's just fun. It's just super fun looking, and I love it. I have to say, I think this is my favorite garden I've ever done in my entire life, and I've been gardening forever. So I feel like it's my best because I feel like there was so much more thought put into what it will actually turn out to look like, how things will really truly grow. And just as you know, as yourself, as a gardener, every year you garden, you just get better and better and better because you learn about the plants that you're growing from actually growing them. Not from a video from me or any other gardener. Yeah, you'll learn some things, but you're not learning that hands-on, like true knowledge that you get when you work directly with these guys, you know, and they're just, oh, so beautiful. And then in the morning, there's just tons and tons of these bright pink flowers on these morning glories. And I mean, look at how cool this is. Look at this. Here's these crazy little spooky fingers from the Love Lies Bleeding. It's amazing. And as you can see, our corner gardens got a little crazy. This happened when we got all of that drenching rain. Everything kind of just tipped over a little bit and got a little nuts. No matter how much I staked it up, I just couldn't get it under control, but it's still so pretty. It's wild, it's crazy, but still so pretty. So many blooms and cut flowers, and I mean the size of some of these are just phenomenal, and that dark purple, screaming fall time, you know. So I cut this color, oops, sorry. I cut this color a lot for inside of our house on the table, and it looks so beautiful with all of the dark inside of the house and accents of orange. It's just, I mean, look at this. It looks so pretty together. So this year we did make our garden extra special because we did just have our first event here, which I've been talking about trying to do something like that for a really long time. For those of you that have been following, you know, like I'm always saying, well, I would like to do some kind of an event. So we just teamed up with a photographer and we had a photo shoot event for families. So that way they could come and get their fall photos and just sit around. And then we went over to the new veggie washing station, and that's where I, handed out free coffee and popcorn and teas and all that fun stuff. And it was the perfect setting, and it was an amazing experience. So we are going to be having future events. So if you're ever interested in, finding out more information, or you want to host something, just reach out to us on Instagram. I'll put my handle right below, and we can see what we can do for you and with you for next season. And these containers this year did not disappoint. I was a little worried about this blood banana tree. We've been growing these for 8 years. We take them in the winter, we divide them out, and we actually have to cut them out with a sawzall because they're so rooted in here. And I was just amazed because we've never grown them on the north side before, but look at how Look how tall these are, you guys. These are crazy tall right now. We've got this one, and we've got this one over here. Look at how gorgeous. And everything still in them is gorgeous with all of the coleus and cuffias and salvias. It's just so pretty, and it smells citrusy because of the salvias that we have over in here. This is a hummingbird variety of salvia in there, and you can really smell it. Like, it smells, yeah, very citrusy. But then right here too, these beautiful dahlias. I know that I've already talked about these, but I mean, it's just everything is so pretty, and you've got all the different kinds of snapdragons and gomphrenias, and you can see the cannas are just about to come into blossom again. How gorgeous is that? It's beautiful. And then once again, we've got this ageratum. This is that variety, tall blue planet. It's really a cut flower. It's made to be really tall. But you know, if you're new to the channel or if you've been following for a while, you know that I take seeded varieties that are supposed to be cut flowers, and I just plant them on their side and place them in containers, because then they trail out and down because they get heavy. But then the flowers just kind of, look at here, the flowers just start kind of, they start popping up nice like that. This here too, they get so heavy they fall, which is what I want with that. And then they just start kind of reaching for that sun then, and it just creates this beautiful ball of color. And this was my first mason job last year, making this whole fire pit. And so for the event, I wanted to be able to use the fire pit in some way, but I didn't want it to be like smoky and smelly and anything like that. So I actually placed this pumpkin in the center, and we've had this pumpkin for quite a few years. And what you do is you pour water in it, and steam comes out of its mouth, and it turns all these different colors. So it actually gave the illusion that there was smoke coming from the fire pit, even though there wasn't. And it just gave this really good mood feeling with people sitting around it. Everyone just thought it was super cool. So that was a little hit. Then near like July, Jason finally finished the little boxes down here, and they're connected to the little space here. And so I just used what I had left, which was just like some coleus and some flowering kale and some little trailing items down in here. And so when everyone came, some people sat there to hang out, and then others came in here. We put in like this little table I found on Facebook Marketplace, and of course threw a little buffalo check over it. And then over back here was where we kept like the coffees, the teas, the popcorn, hot cider. It really had this really good feel and music going, and it was so much fun. And this was actually the perfect spot to have like for little beverages. And right in time, the mum came into blossom, so that was gorgeous too. It was perfect timing. This container has stayed gorgeous. It hasn't split or anything, because we haven't had any crazy wild winds. That has been one of the pluses this season, because if there's crazy wild winds, it can snap some of those coleus in that huge container. But look at how perfect this is. Jason, you want to stand right next to it so I can show the size? Don't split it. Look at how awesome that is. So beautiful. I'm like in the, there we go, my shadow was on it. These here are all of those little bubblegum planters that I created with little feed pails. They turned out amazing. So I took one down just so you can see the scale of it, and I just put it in these really cute little hot pink feed buckets from Farm and Fleet, super cheap. I also drilled 3 holes into the bottom so that way it had drainage. So we've got the bubble gum, we've got some scaevola in here, and then we also have the Madame Butterfly series snapdragons in here, which are self-seeded. And then I threw in some little fall flare up in here just to kind of transition the season from summer to fall, but still feel like really bright and cute. And then those ones over there are Lana's baskets that she planted. She did the calliope geraniums on top, which have been perfect because they bush out really nice. So if there's any varieties that get flat tops, the geraniums come in and they save the day. And so they're really in blossom right now, along with the Supertunia Vista Paradise and the giant pink Supertunia. Oh, look at our other friend over here. This is Georgie, if you guys want to meet Georgie. He's a mini donkey, semi-woolly. He's a new friend and he's super duper sweet. And if you want to see more of the animals, the girls do have their own channel with all of their animals. It's Lana Lynn Lawrence and Sayla Lawrence, and you can find those channels right here on our channel. These are those crazy fall gardens that I did, and look how gorgeous. They're nuts, they're a little messy, but they look amazing. They have so much fall flair. So they've got the corn going in here, we've got the mums right on the front, we've got the flowering kale. These ones are the crane series, so they're more of like the cut flower series, so they get nice and tall, or they swoop down and up. Just know if you're using them as a cut flower, don't use it in a bouquet inside of your house. It does smell like cabbage. And then over here we have the cosmos. So many different varieties of cosmos, but starting seeds in your garden right in the beginning of spring instead of plants gives you an extra revival at the end of the season of some fresh looking flowers, rather than just, you know, the flowers starting from the beginning and kind of slowly fading. These were really fresh and really nice to see. This is our horse Indy. He arrived almost a year ago now. He had to go to get some extra training at the trainers, but he's home and he gets worked with every day. Lana just had her very first competition with him and she placed 5th in that competition. We are really surprised because Indy's a very young horse. He just turned 4, so he's got a little baby mind. So working with him and having him remember things is a little tougher right now, but overall he's just the sweetest little thing. And I don't know if you guys remember, but we did plant up a fall garden, and right now it looks truly like fall. We've harvested a lot of items from it already, but I figure we might as well show you what that turned out to be since we dedicated an entire video to it this year. So here's our row of cut flowers that we did extra of. So zinnias and cosmos, our row of sunflowers right here. As you can tell, a lot of the birds have been eating on them. A lot of the seeds are missing, but we are going to go through and cut some of the heads so that way we can add some fresh sunflower heads out in the garden throughout the winter as our own little natural feeders. Over here is where the pumpkins were. You won't see them anymore because I picked them all and used them for decorating around the whole garden space for that event. And then over here, we did those few little rows of extra flowers, and really a lot of the flowers out here are also to attract that many more pollinators, so that way we had really good pumpkins. And I did already cut a lot of rows of the ornamental corn, but I have yet to cut the broom corn, which I think you'll find pretty crazy. So this is my broom corn. Let's see. Here I am. I'm by my broom corn. I gotta take it down. I was gonna make like little brooms, which me and the kids always make brooms every year along with my niece, and we make them just as like a fun little project. We make little brooms, and then these always go on the very bottom, and these would actually be really pretty in wreaths. So when you cut them, they're so gorgeous. You could cut a bundle of them and have them facing down, plop a ribbon on it, and hang it on your front door as well. Super simple. You don't have to make all these crazy wreaths with all kinds of fake flowers. Just put a bundle of these, put a ribbon on it, and you're all set to go. You can even, you know, attach these to beautiful grapevine wreaths and add ribbons and fun stuff like that. And you can use it as something that smacks someone. Get to work, Jason. And I've had people ask us why we keep our garden so close to the house and don't expand out. Well, this is why. I absolutely love having wild spaces with paths and wildflowers and native perennials and all of that spread throughout, because everything has its own season. And depending on the season, there's always something different in blossom. But as you can see, it's so beautiful. And this area just comes alive with life. And it's just amazing. And no matter how hard we work or how many projects we do inside of that garden, nothing beats the wild gardens. This will always be my most favorite area. It's an area that we just have to mow a few paths for walking. We don't have to do anything else. Nature just takes its course and we get to enjoy that. And it's really beautiful. Even from the way back, you can see those cute little bubblegum feed bucket planters that we did this year. They were just amazing. I would love to do that on all of our fences, but we'd have to get some automatic waters for that because I would be watering forever. Yeah. And in here, this is our courtyard. This is where we have containers. Well, I should say this is where we have window boxes, and we can see these from inside of the house. So these got super huge, and in these boxes, I just used what I had a lot left over, which was a lot of coleus. So that's why you see a lot of coleus in these ones. I only had a few flowering varieties left, so that's why you only see like 1 or 2 of something in these, like, you know, the same old again. Now it's looking like the same old ageratum, but it's not the same old, it's beautiful, but you know, you see it kind of like flowing throughout the gardens. And then in this one over here, we had like a Vista Paradise petunia left over here, some more of that ageratum, and I thought I did put a couple, oh yeah, I did put a couple snaps in there, but they're getting overtaken right now by this coleus. So, I'm gonna take you guys to the front window boxes. All right, we'll go to the front yard. Of course, I have to stop on the way to say hi to Luna. She's like, I already got my pellets, leave me alone. Okay, this time for real. We're going to the front yard because we're losing light. How'd Pepperoni get out? Pepperoni, come here. Come here. Are you okay? Come here. Come here. Aw, come here. You're okay. Oh, I just got to put her away first. Okay, to the front window boxes. Before we get to those, I forgot, there is a window box here on the front of our garage here. This is also a lot of leftovers. Kind of the same as the courtyard window boxes, just a ton of coleus, and it's growing inside of the Weigelia. So I think by next week, I'm gonna have to probably chop it so we don't end up killing our Weigelia shrubs here, because coleus is what, like, you know, a couple bucks, where these are probably like, you know, $20 to $50 a piece. So we gotta save the goods. All right, let's go to the front yard. Welcome to the front porch, where I have an Amazon package just like you, but we did get some pumpkins up, some corn stalks up, and as things don't flower in here, that's where the blue cornflowers come in and start blooming. I did place those seeds out in June because this is the season where things don't blossom as much, and I really love seeing flowers at all times. I didn't go crazy on the front porch like you probably see a lot of people do. It's beautiful, but I also don't see my front porch that often, so I just did a little bit. So our fresh cut corn stalks from our garden, all of our pumpkins and things like that, just to decorate it. Our front window boxes. I'll go with this one over here. It's not as crazy this time of year, but everything just came through. So one thing I did cut out of here were those Cracker Jack marigolds, which are these right here. They got so ginormous, I would never do those in the window box again unless I just continue to keep clipping them, but it was just too much. But as of right now, they actually look really nice. And then we do have our little, our Vista Jazzberry over here, Super Tunias. These are also proven winners. And here we go, we got Love Lies Bleeding. Now, I would do these again in the window boxes, and here's why. I know they look crazy, but for fall time they look amazing. And what I want to do, and what I would do right away if I did this again, which I think I will, I would put a little hook here just so that way it would hold them up. Because look it, does that look good, Jason?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I just need a hook. Just get that little corn stalk. So the Love Lies Bleeding, we've got Super Tunia Jazzberry through Proven Winner. We've got the Ageratum, that's a tall blue planet. This right here is a Plectranthus, it's a variegated leaf. We have just some orange snaps that are usually normally a cut flower, but I planted them on their side so they would kind of come out. We've got some seeded Gomphrena right here. So nothing special other than, you know, seeding them yourselves. If you have a greenhouse or even in your house by a sunny window, just make sure to have, you know, a fan on things when you're growing indoors, and then also make sure that you're getting things used to the real sunlight and you're not just like taking your indoor grown plants and throwing them out in the sun right away in the spring for the whole day. You're going to end up with burnt crisp plants. So always just start out with maybe, you know, 20 to 30 minutes to start with. After a couple days, maybe go up to an hour, and then after 4 or 5 days, do 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. You'll start noticing what they can handle, what they can't. Because I actually started growing in our house before we got the greenhouse. So all of those tips I do have on this channel earlier on before we got the greenhouse on how to grow your own plants and everything inside of your house. We also have some zinnias. This is a Zahara mix. And then some French Quarters Coleus, which this time of year, it does start kind of, you know, coming forward, mainly because the gutter is above. And so if we're getting downpours, which we had at that one time this summer, it overflows them, has it come down, and then this is the result of that. So yeah, so that's basically all of the varieties. It's so pretty. I always feel like this is such a magical spot because the backdrop of these window boxes here is this gorgeous hydrangea over here, and it's just so huge. And I don't really trim my hydrangeas, I just cut off the dead flowers in spring, and it's just ginormous. I just really wanted you guys to see this other angle over here because it is just so pretty. I can't describe it, but it's so magical, and I really enjoy my time up here when I'm maintaining and watering and taking care of the flowers. All right, I'm coming through the window box area through this hydrangea. There used to be a path, but now there is not. So next spring will probably be the first time I will actually trim this because I do like having somewhat of a path here. It doesn't need to be the full width like it always has been, but a little bit is nice. And then in the springtime, all I do is I just take my, you know, automatic clipper, like hedge clipper, and I just go through and take off all the dead blossoms, but I do not cut the actual plant itself. But if it starts getting too crazy, you just can, you know, maintain it from where you want. I always see all these videos on like what you need to do with your hydrangea, but we do nothing, and they all do well. And it's not just this, it's all of these. I mean, all of our hydrangeas are this way, no matter what the variety, because I don't keep clipping them back so much. But if you want them to maintain a little bit of a smaller size based on, you know, what else is planted around them, then of course you want to keep them nice and trim. Coming over here, and Jason is up in his favorite spot.
Definitely. I love this spot. My favorite spot. I come out here every morning. I can see all across the fields. I can see the whole property. This time of night is also beautiful. We can come out here at night and stargaze. This is definitely one of my favorite additions to the gardens here. It's such another just magical space up here. And the moon, look at that, there we go. You get views from everywhere up here. It's so unbelievable.
I just want to quickly show this garden because I think this is one of my favorites this time of year. This is my favorite right now. I just really love that unplugged red salvia right there. And then having it mixed with these dahlias over here. These are those new Proven Winner dahlias. Look how pretty that looks. Right behind it then, you've got that blue ageratum. You've got the firecracker marigolds, the orange and gold. You've got this gorgeous calendula down here, beautiful healing calendula, along with some kufia right in here. And then you got hot lip salvia. This draws in all of the hummingbirds. It's really amazing.
And the hummingbird moths.
And the hummingbird moths, yeah. And then right in the center there, you have the millet for the finches. Yeah, I just had to show that really quick. It's just so beautiful at this time of night.
All right, so here's the view from up top. You can see what it looks like here at dusk. But I can see, you know, all the way out to the back of the property. I just love the views. I can see for a mile, a country mile up here.
There's so many baby hummingbird moths in this garden right now.
You can see all the way across the fields here. So it's just like 360, beautiful panoramic. The moon's there right now, but I get the sunrise there. And then here's kind of the jungle up against the another just magical part about this. But yeah, really cool space up here. Just kind of want to show you that view all the way around and just really enjoy sitting up here, spending time up here.
Got a new little friend.
Partner.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little October garden tour. I hope you got some new, fresh ideas, possibly for your next spring garden, which is like super exciting because that's what I love about going into the winter season. Not that it's my favorite, let's be real, but winter season allows us to just kind of rejuvenate, refresh, and come up with some fun ideas that get us super excited about new beginnings in spring. And so thank you so much for watching tonight. We really appreciate you guys taking the time. If you don't already, please feel free to subscribe, hit like, and comment down this video. Let us know how you liked it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys next time.